Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Let's Chat MetaPWR. Tonight we have beautiful guest Carolyne coming in from New Zealand. So Carolyn's an educator in dementia, wellness and fitness, and teaches many modalities of dance and dance therapy, and a spinal flow practitioner about to incorporate aromatouch into her business in New Zealand as well. Essential oils have had a role in your family's health for many years now. And more recently, you're having fantastic success with MetaPWR for sleep, cortisol, and blood sugar levels. So we'll go deeper into that tonight. But I wondered if you could start by sharing with us what was life like for you before you started on MetaPWR?
So I was introduced to the oils by Tracy, and at that stage, I was wanting the oils for my spinal flow clinic, but I had basically since perimenopause, so basically for about 16 years prior to that, I had real issues with inflammation and sleep fragmentation and deprivation. And I had spent nights and nights awake. I had done everything that I thought was humanly possible to try to sort out this problem. My library is filled with books about how to improve your sleep and sleep hygiene. And I had cooling pillows, and I changed mattresses, and I had blue blocking sunglasses. I got blue blocking light bulbs in my house. I had strict sleep hygiene. I did everything to try to improve my sleep. And really, it was really spasmodic and nothing made any real difference. And this is a real concern to me, because one of the reasons that I became a dementia educator was because there's dementia in my family. My mother and her father both had dementia. And one of the things we know that our brain needs is that every night we need two types of sleep, REM and a slow wave sleep as well. And when it's fragmented and disturbed and the quality of it is poor, our brain is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So then I became anxious about things as well, about not sleeping, which is this horrible cycle. So when I got introduced to doTERRA by Tracy and introduced to the beautiful oils, I started, of course, with lavender and frankincense and whatever I could get my hands on to try. And I really think I calmed my nervous system down lots, and things improved in that my stress levels were reduced. I still wasn't sleeping. But I could lie awake all night and not be stressed, which was very strange. I could lie there and do little affirmations and do sleep stories and talk to myself, and my body wouldn't become more tense and irritated, and I could just be relaxed. And that was where I was at when the 21-day challenge came along.
The 21-day challenge incorporating MetaPWR. So was that your first use of MetaPWR?
No, I straight away had started to use MetaPWR, but just once a day, the advantage, and not extensively. And probably I thought I was quite low in my carbs, so I hardly needed to use the assist. So just the one a day if I decided I needed that. And yeah, I loved the oil, but only having that in water. And I guess it was spasmodic. I tried things on and off. I would give the sachets away to family members and to other people, and then I'd be short of it myself as well. So I wasn't being rigid with looking after myself with the collagen.
Okay, so it changed a few things for you, hey?
When the 21-day challenge came along, yes. So then we were getting those wonderful videos with all the tips, suggestions for using it on our skin and inhaling in the morning with it and ways to stack it. And then super using came up, and somebody mentioned that they were taking it nighttime for sleep. So I was already taking it during the day, and so I decided to take it at night. And at first I didn't take it I probably took it about an hour before, and then went back to look at what people were saying, and actually just before sleep. So then a little shot as well, because if you take too much, then it's going to be upsetting your bladder maybe during the night. So a little shot. I would go to bed, journal, read, do whatever I did, lie there, and then I would turn to my bedstand, pour it into the glass, stir, shot, turn off the light, lie down, and magic, just magic. Yes, I
That's
couldn't believe it.
remarkable.
And it's a different kind of sleep. It was absolutely restful, properly restful. When I would wake up in the morning, I couldn't believe that I had slept a whole night. And I needed to have 2 doses of Advantage every day for maybe about 6 weeks. I needed to have it twice a day to be able to keep that sleep routine up. If I stopped it during the day and only had the night, because I experimented, only had it at nighttime, it wasn't enough. I think it was working on several levels. The system was working on calming and working on hormones and getting cortisol and adrenaline and insulin all balanced. And then what happens at night with one of the amino acids that's an Advantage, it's glycine. And this is a precursor to serotonin, which we need for melatonin. And so it could be all these mechanisms are working. And that was like the last piece of the puzzle for me, I think, because I still have to be really careful about all my other sleep hygiene. It's a fragile thing, sleep. And when you haven't had it for very many years, you understand how precious it is and how hard it is to attain. So I work hard now to have all those things in place. If I have coffee after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or a cup of tea, or a piece of chocolate even in the afternoon, if I don't get some exercise, if I don't get sun outside in the early morning, anything like that can throw me off again. But when I have all those things in place and the Advantage at night, then I sleep like a dream.
It really is that missing piece of the puzzle, like you described it. Yeah. And it goes hand in hand with all those other beautiful practices that you're doing. And I love that little description of how you take it, those tips of having it beside your bed. Do you have a bottle of water just so it's easy to quickly mix before you turn your light off?
No, I have a little shot glass.
Oh, yeah.
It sits
Yeah.
beside the bed. I go with water in the shot glass and a spoon sitting in there. And I've
Yeah.
already cut the top off
Oh,
and it
love it.
sits there beside, balances there beside until I'm
Yeah.
ready to go to sleep. What do you do too?
I just love hearing the different habits. So I use one of the milk frother ones, and I have one in the kitchen, one by my bed, because I'm like you, I've started taking it twice a day. But yeah, hearing these little tips, having it cut already, that's a new one for me, Carolyne. Thank you. But yeah, just making it easy and something that doesn't require extra effort so that you'll do it consistently. Yeah. And that visual as well, having it right by your bed. I think it's brilliant. So it took you on a journey of researching the ingredients. Can you tell us a bit more about that and what you discovered?
The hero ingredient that I have discovered so far, that I think might have been missing in anything else that I'd ever tried to take, is this glycine. And it decreases our core body temperature, and it probably also inhibits muscle activity during REM sleep. And you really want your core body temperature to drop before you sleep. And so I think one of the reasons that my sleep had become, apart from menopause and all those other things that affects your sleep, but we always lived in houses with baths, and we moved to a house with only a shower. And I was used to having a bath every night before I went to bed. And if that's part of your routine, when you get out of the bath, your core temperature drops really easily. And then it's very easy to fall asleep. But that wasn't happening for me anymore. A shower doesn't have the same effect. And so I think that maybe that's one of the reasons that it works for me, apart from the fact, so then you drop more easily into a deep sleep. But then it's helping us stay asleep as well, because I not only had trouble getting to sleep, I would wake at 3:30 or 4, and that's cortisol rising. So the Advantage that I'm having during the day is balancing cortisol and insulin and adrenaline out. And so that's no longer happening and waking me up with a bang in the early hours of the morning. But the glycine increases the serotonin without increasing dopamine levels. So it helps maintain healthy circadian rhythms for better sleep. And then serotonin is a precursor to melatonin, and we know that we need that as well. So it's just helping with this rhythmic effect on the brain. It's helping with the circadian rhythms and making the sleep-wake cycles more regular. So it's just this balance.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for explaining it in terms we can understand too. That really helps. Sometimes when we read all the research and the science behind it can get a bit confusing, but what you've just shared there makes sense. Now, you mentioned that with the assist capsules, you were not having them regularly. Did the 21-day challenge change that for you as well?
I still only did it once a day at my biggest carb meal, I thought. But now, listening as being part of the MetaPWR group, I've decided to do it 3 times a day. I'm taking it in the morning to see if it's going to make a difference, like it has for Jackie Iles with insulin rising first thing in the morning when fasting. Yeah, so I've upped my dosage of the assist. I've bought more bottles.
Yeah. And is that
Experiment of one.
okay? Is that a recent thing that you've brought in to your?
Yes. In like the last 2 weeks, I've started experimenting with that.
And how do you keep a track? Do you journal, or is it just a mental account of the changes you're noticing?
No, I haven't been journaling it really since. It's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I journal other things, but I haven't been journaling what's happening with the things that I felt had sorted themselves out.
Yeah, that's what I love about these Let's Chat MetaPWR sessions. We all give each other ideas. So yeah, if you're used to journaling, that could be a good thing to do. What other changes did you notice, Carolyne, alongside the sleep, the improvement, quality of sleep, falling asleep? Were there other changes that you experienced?
See, I should have been journaling. I think that in the first few weeks of the 21 days challenge, when I was taking advantage, I was aware of a mid-afternoon slump. And so I would have it then. I don't get that anymore. And I don't, so I take it as I need it. Sometimes I'll have it in the morning and sometimes I'll take it in the afternoon, but I'm not getting a slump and needing to take it anymore. It's evened out energy through the day, I would say, the advantage has. I really love using the MetaPWR oil also on the loofah, just for in the morning as a bit of love before a shower, actually. I'm just trying to layer the opportunities to use the oil like that.
Oh, okay, so you're dropping the oil straight onto the loofah or with coconut oil or just straight?
Yeah, I have just been putting it straight on the loofah.
Yeah, beautiful. And then doing like a full body anoint and then having a shower?
Yes.
Invigorating. That's a lovely way to start the day. And are you diffusing the oil or?
Every now and then I have a bottle in my handbag that goes with me to work. I just use it, like just take a good smell from the bottle periodically. And I've got the beadlets as well, and they go with me to work, and I'll take some of those through the day if I feel the need. That's very useful. But something that I want to do more, that I did do during the 21-day challenge, that would be lovely, is the mixing it with fractionated coconut oil and using it as a massage as well. That would be really gorgeous, I think.
Yes, beautiful. Especially that's what you're doing with spinal flow and aroma touch. Maybe it could be something incorporated. We're getting some great comments here in the chat, and I'll just make note of Tracy said that she puts the oil blend in her hand and then rubs the dry brush over her hand and then dry brushes. That's another really beautiful practice to use the MetaPWR oil blend. Diane's saying she has a customer who's going through a significant amount of stress and has had a long-standing problem of not sleeping well. So she's been taking lifelong vitality vitamins and supplements and MetaPWR. Sorry, I'm just seeing the next part. She's been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Would love some advice or suggestions, please. This segues nicely into your other talking about blood sugar levels. Do you want to speak on that?
Recent thing, I about a month ago started wearing continuous glucose monitor, and I only did it for 2 weeks. And I guess I've just been paying particular attention to what's been happening with how I'm eating, and I'm getting some help. I'm getting some help about how to interpret what my blood sugar levels are doing and how to tweak what we've got to make a difference on top of what I'd already discovered. I do think that the advantage really evened it out. And I know that for the most part, when I'm sleeping, I'm not getting that cortisol issue. So the hormones, blood sugar, insulin follows cortisol. So it's when you can get cortisol down and you're calmer, then the insulin's going to be less of a problem as well. So that's a work in progress still for me, a big work in progress.
So I wonder if your decision to have the 2 sachets of the advantage might help Diane's customer to have it before bed.
I absolutely had to have it twice. Had to have the 2 of them a day for quite a while before. I'd already been taking 1 a day for a long time and then added in the night one. And then when I stopped the day, I stopped sleeping. So I had to keep them both going for quite a while. Yes, definitely I would give that a go.
And are you taking the lifelong vitality?
Yes, I was doing that always, and mostly in the morning. Sometimes I take 4 of the oil capsules, but everything else it's just two in the morning.
And was it challenging for you or easy for you to make a habit out of it when you first started adding these into your day?
The lifelong vitality was an easy habit. The thinking of being consistent with the MetaPWR system was not so easy, which is why the challenge was so fantastic. That was a lot of fun. And I won a prize in the challenge as well. I did. So that was even more fun. I'm not usually competitive, but in that arena, I really was. It was really fun to watch all the videos. There was so much information we were given. It was all useful.
And what about things like your eating habits? Did you become more mindful about what you were choosing to eat once you started on MetaPWR?
I think it's been building. We think that we're eating cleanly and we think that we're doing okay. That was why I only needed to take 1 a day, because I only had 1 carb meal. But actually, when you have a good look, when you wear a glucose monitor, that was very interesting about what was actually happening. Yeah, I feel very prepared and supported by the products and by the knowledge in our team and through the sharing to keep tweaking that and to listen to what other people are doing. We're so individual. We need to personalize it, find what works for us. And that's why listening to so many different people is really valuable. And then for our friends and clients as well.
You just catch that too. I'm having a little giggle. Yes. Tracy's written here. She doesn't have any spare bottles of the oil, as she puts it in her body wash, her body oil, in her drinking water, on her dry brush. She diffuses it. She makes bliss balls with it. Okay, we need that recipe,
yes.
Tracy.
Oh, I put it in hot chocolate and I put it in my coffee as well. Yes, I do.
That is brilliant.
I love it. My children go about the peppermint in the coffee, but one of my daughters loves it and I really like it in the coffee.
Oh, mind blowing. That's tip of the day, I've got to say. The hot chocolate I hadn't thought of. That's amazing. With the citrus and the cinnamon. Beautiful. And the mint and the ginger with hot chocolate. Oh, you've got me. I'm all distracted now.
That's why I don't need to diffuse it, because I've got it in things happening all the time.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. And I guess the other thing is with taking MetaPWR, and it gives us that sustained energy we talked about earlier. You're not getting the afternoon slump. Did you notice a difference in your productivity or brain fog? A lot of people mention they're clearer. What about for you? Did you notice with work or daily life?
It was unusual. All those years of not sleeping, fragmented and deprived sleep, I didn't ever have problems with brain fog. I functioned very well during the day. So that's never been an issue for me, clarity of thought. But I definitely used to have afternoons where I would just want to lay my head on my arms and go to sleep and start to feel very tired. So that's a blessing. That's not happening anymore. That's evened out. And I think It's hard to lay the advantages, the benefits just at one oil, because now there's so many being incorporated into my day. But I'm sure that the profile of these oils is part of the picture that's helping me feel happy and calm and this energetic without being wired. It's all part of the picture, a more balanced energy, sustained balanced energy.
Beautifully said. And do you find yourself telling others about this? Is it something that you're sharing?
So with my spinal flow clients, I'm a bit of an evangelist, and I have sung the praises of it for helping for sleep. I don't have as many opportunities as I would like to get the message out there. I tried to set up a page for people who've got metabolic issues and sleep issues, and then I'd like to put information for them, but I keep getting shut down by Facebook. So I haven't got very far.
What a shame, because you've got such a powerful message to share, and you've looked into it and you've experienced the positive change. So I hope you can get that message out.
Yeah,
somehow.
I think it's a huge group of people. Something like 30% of people have fragmented and don't have poor quality sleep, and then something like 60% of people have periods of sleep problems, and it's linked with cardiovascular problems and asthma, and there's just so many things that I think people are desperate, and I would love to help people to find a solution.
Yeah, absolutely. You've delved into it for yourself for so many years, and now you found this missing piece of the puzzle, like you said. Yeah. Did anyone have any questions?
Just about the customer I asked about, would you recommend that probably being as consistent as possible with the lifelong vitality and the sachets and the assist is the best?
I'd be too nervous to give any of them up, really.
Yeah.
Once you've started, is the customer already on lifelong vitality?
That's the thing. She's admitted that she just hasn't been consistent. She also takes quite a mixture of medications as well, which she's also wondering, does that interfere with the products perhaps working? She's just wanting to know what she should do. She'd love to come off her medication if she could.
I would say is to print out the information for her, take it for her doctor, and for her doctor to be able to see if there was going to be any contraindications.
Yeah.
That's an empowering thing.
And I tell people to actually take the list of their medication and the ingredient list of our products to the pharmacist, because they've studied pharmacology, so they actually know what goes with what. So I've had people with their journey with MetaPWR or LLV or anything like that have really good feedback from the pharmacist, as opposed to the GP just rolled their eyes because they didn't know. They put them on it, but they didn't know about the ingredients of this with this, what goes with what. So I've now just started telling people to print out the ingredients and go to the pharmacist.
Okay, thanks for that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and of course pharmacists are all around the world.
Thank you, Carolyne and Anna.
Thanks, Diane. This is recorded so we can get it to your friend to listen to and hopefully feel reassured once they get the ingredient list checked. I just thought for those who might be listening and don't actually know what the lifelong vitality is, I'll just go through a few things of how it supports us. So in the name, it's vitality. So it helps us with energy, hair, skin, and nails. It's a DNA protection, helps our mental and emotional health. It helps support a healthy nervous system, eye health, healthy lungs, healthy gut, strong bones, stress management, circulatory health, joint support, better sleep, healthy gut, better focus, mental clarity, heart health, so cardiovascular. The list goes on. Supports our metabolic health and our immune functions. Yes, Kim's saying in the comments, we all need to take it. It's so amazing. It's actually doTERRA's #1 selling product. So I guess that shows that millions around the world having good success with it. It's worth persisting with it. I just wanted to read this message out as well from Tracy, that she loved your talk so much, Carolyne. Thank you. She really enjoyed hearing about how insulin follows cortisol. So when one goes up, so does the other. And Kim said, thank you for your very powerful words of wisdom. A lot of learning here tonight, a lot of sharing of tips. And I know that everyone's got a wealth of knowledge and wisdom to share. Yeah, Deb's saying that the LLV, the lifelong vitality, are our micronutrients, MetaPWR's the macronutrients, so we need both. You're right. It's like the king and the queen have met. We'll wrap it up there for now. So thank you very much, Carolyne. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your story, what you've discovered, and yeah, an inspirational talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.